No way he just said this. A New York Knicks free agency target just revealed that he turned down Leon Rose's offer to join New York's contending roster for this one reason. While the Knicks will now look towards one of their young stars to cover this role that was initially meant for a respected NBA veteran who decided that he would not be signing with the New York Knicks, and we're going to break down why this decision was made, why the Knicks had interest, and much more on top of it, including why I think the Knicks are actually in a better position because of this. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here. Guys, before we jump into the video, make sure to subscribe if you're part of that 59% that is not subscribed to Knicks Digest right now. We have a lot of videos coming out as we're getting close to training camp when the Knicks will be making that veterans minimum deal, the rookie deal, and also some training camp signings along with the two-ways. So a lot of news is about to come out on the Knicks, and you do not want to miss out on any of it, and we will cover it all right as it happens on Knicks Digest. But let's jump into the video, guys. There is a lot to go over on the Knicks right now, as it's no secret the Knicks have been scouring the free agent market to get that final veterans minimum spot. But they also had been looking for a while to figure this out, including in last season when they obviously signed PJ Tucker. They also had plans of looking at other names as well, both in the trade and the buyout market. Obviously, the one trade the Knicks made was moving Jericho Sims for DeLon Wright, a move that actually did seemingly work for the Knicks quite well, as when they brought in DeLon Wright, he actually did have a positive impact in the couple of playoff minutes that he got into, and there was a moment where DeLon Wright was actually the starting point guard for the Knicks when Jalen Brunson, Deuce McBride, and Cameron Payne were all out with injury. DeLon Wright stepped up and really did show that he is still an NBA-level player. Though not being signed yet, I do expect DeLon Wright to get a contract, but this video is not about DeLon Wright. This video is about a completely different free agent, Daniel Theis, who turned down the New York Knicks offer to sign with the team. Now, Theis revealed this saying, "I could have gone to the Knicks, for example, but it was much more for insurance that Mitchell Robinson came back from a long injury, and then I talked to Tom Thibodeau, and he said, yeah, you will be like insurance in case he can't play and this and that. It's like what I did with PJ Tucker." So, when Daniel Theis heard this, he was not happy with this idea and saying, for me, it was like, okay, if I sit for the rest of the year, what are my chances in the summer? So if I'm like, okay, I go overseas to Europe and play great, I might have a better chance. That was my whole intention and thought behind it. Just consider Europe and see what it is. And that is what Theis ended up doing. He decided to not sign with the Knicks and go over to Europe, where he is getting rotational minutes. And that has absolutely been a decision. I don't know if it's a decision I would make, but the Knicks, who had long-standing interest in Theis, offered him a deal, and he turned them down because he didn't want to be at the end of the bench. Now, Theis is not the first guy to do this in NBA history. There have been plenty of times when players, especially players who are not from America, like Theis, who is from Germany, who've decided, I would rather be overseas in Europe somewhere, the continent that I'm from, instead of being in the NBA where I'm just sitting on the bench somewhere. I'd rather be playing basketball closer to home than not playing basketball, sitting on the sidelines farther from home. It's obvious. It's not the craziest statement to make if we're being real. Now, he was also really pushed by Vassilis Spanoulis, who is one of the great players in Greek basketball history. Spanoulis started playing in the 2001-2002 season and played up until 2019. He played with a few different teams, most notably the Olympiacos, who are widely regarded as one of the best teams in all of Greek basketball. Now, all these teams, he spent his entire career in the GBL. Spanoulis, and if I'm mispronouncing his name, I do apologize, but I'm 95% sure it's Spanoulis. He also played for Pathanikios for a bit. He moved around a little bit, but he was most known for playing with the Olympiacos towards the end of his career. Now, on top of that, we did see him really find his way around a little bit to a couple different teams, and he did have a huge impact on Daniel Theis' decision. Now, Theis, he put up 4.3 points and 4.3 rebounds with the New Orleans Pelicans for the first half of last season before getting traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, where he was evidently waived soon after. Now, the Knicks had interest in Theis because he could could play the 4, he could play the 5, and he was insurance for Mitchell Robinson, who gave them an actual center option. Now, Theis is not the greatest defender in the world, and his three-point shot has slipped a little bit from what it used to be, but he is a very good lob threat who sets good screens and plays hard, and the Knicks did think he would fit well with them. However, Theis decided he didn't want to even try that, so obviously he ended up moving on in a different direction, which is pretty surprising considering that the Knicks were one of the better teams in the NBA and have been one of the better teams in the NBA. You look at the Knicks depth chart recently, and things have been good for them. I mean, right now, they're one of the most exciting teams in basketball going into the next season. They feel like a lock for a top 2 seed if everyone stays healthy. It's either them or the Cavs look like they'll be the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are minus 270 right now on FanDuel to win the Atlantic Division. And where things stand right now, we're seeing a depth chart of Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Karl-Anthony Towns, with Deuce McBride, Jordan Clarkson, Pacome Dadier, Gershon Yabusele, and Mitchell Robinson off the bench. Though obviously Josh Hart might come off the bench and Mitchell Robinson might start. The answer that I'd prefer, and I think most Knicks fans would prefer that as well because it just makes more sense for this team. You could also try to start Deuce McBride, Jordan Clarkson. You could make a few different decisions if you want to try to do that as well, something that should be noted. But at the same time, I do think it's going to be Mitchell Robinson. Also, Mike Brown does tend to lean towards small ball like he did in Sacramento. So if it is this lineup, don't be shocked. Or if it's Deuce instead of Josh Hart, also don't be shocked. Remember, Mike Brown ran a lineup of De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis when the Kings finally ended the drought in that 2023 season, where they lost in 7 to the Golden State Warriors because Steph Curry decided he was going to win that game. Now, Theis was going to be Mitchell Robinson insurance, and once again, let's just look at this depth chart real quick. If Theis was still on the roster, he's not getting minutes. Let's be honest. But when we look at Mitchell Robinson, he did stay healthy in the playoffs, so Theis would not have been used. Mitch put up 5 points, 7 rebounds, and a steal and a block per game, looking absolutely excellent while still not being at 100%. He was getting nearly 4 offensive rebounds a night and was one of the biggest impact players for the Knicks. The Celtics would constantly outscore the Knicks when Mitch was off the floor, but when he was on the floor, the Knicks would easily outscore the Celtics because Mitch was able to stop their big men from doing anything entirely and forced the Celtics to kind of kill their drive and kick offense because the driving didn't work. The Knicks were not playing help because they knew Mitchell Robinson had it locked down there, which really did change everything for the Knicks. When Mitch had not really appeared against the Celtics all season long, the Celtics did not know how to handle Mitchell Robinson being down there, being the defensive anchor that he's been able to be for such a long time. Now, this also means that Ariel Hukporti was going to get more minutes now, and also Hukporti, also from Germany, funny enough, and also the fact that I'm older than Ariel Hukporti really just hurts my soul. It sucks seeing NBA players younger than me. It feels terrible. The fact that I'm younger than Wemby doesn't feel like it's real. I'm in a bedroom with a green screen talking about the Knicks, and Victor Wembanyama is Victor Wembanyama. But still, not the point. The point is Ariel Hukporti, who put up 2 points and 2 rebounds last year in very limited minutes and only playing in a couple of games, will get a bigger role as that Mitchell Robinson insurance next year. Hukporti has shown a lot of talent already, and though the numbers don't show it, we also saw it a bit in the G League. Given he wasn't really a huge player in the G League, as that was more Moses Brown's spot as the team's center, but he did put up 7 and 7. He's a good passer as well, who has good rim protection and is a very good athlete who flies on the floor, has some serious post skill, and very much the player comparison for Hukporti would be Isaiah Hartenstein, someone who Knicks fans all do hold near and dear to their hearts for those 2 years that Hartenstein was here, when he was one of the guys who oversaw the Knicks revival in 2023 when they got out of the first round for the first time in 10 years, and that was an absolutely awesome moment for Knicks fans everywhere, obviously. Now, on top of this, the Knicks have been pegged by ESPN as one of the best teams in the NBA, and will keep it that way for a while. As Tim Bontemps and Kevin Pelton also wrote in this article as well, shout out to both of them, the Knicks locked in Mikal Bridges on a 4-year, $150 million extension last month after getting Jalen Brunson inked to his own long-term deal last season. New York now has 5 players: Bridges, Brunson, Karl-Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and Josh Hart under contract through at least 2028. That's the vision the franchise had for this group over the past 18 months. In theory, give this team a long runway, and now they have it. The Knicks are going to be a core that's able to contend for the next couple of years, which was the goal. Though this year feels like the perfect opportunity for the New York Knicks to go out and win the NBA Finals, a statement that still feels weird to say. What do you guys think about Daniel Theis deciding no? This is part of the reason why we're now looking at Ben Simmons as a real free agency option, and on top of that, why we're looking at this whole situation really start to play out, where the Knicks have not figured out who that final veteran minimum spot is. And what do you guys think about it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.